Are you thinking about selling your property in Southern California, but you're not sure where to start? In this video, my goal is to break down the entire selling process from beginning to the end. So you want to make sure you watch till the end, because maybe if you just miss one step, it could cost you thousands and thousands of dollars. Because in 2026, there are lots of changes such as pricing, insurance, buyer's leverage, and all these things could really even vary city by city or neighborhood by neighborhood. So strategy is no longer an option, it is a protection. Hi, if you haven't met, I'm Jack.tsai. I'm the founder for eXp North Star About You team. Last year, our group has sold over 1,000 property, volume at almost $1 billion. So my intention for the channel is to give you all the facts when it comes to buying and selling real estate. This way, you can make the best decision for you and your family. Guess what? The market has shifted. The inventory is going up a little bit. Now it's a little bit more balanced, and the interest rate is coming down. The price is coming down a little bit. So now the market has really shifted compared to a couple years ago. It's no longer a strong seller's market. It is definitely more of a balanced market. And this is where, the strategy really matters. So in this episode, I'm gonna share with you the step-by-step process. If you were to looking to sell your property, this is what you want to do. Step number 1, analyzing all of your options. And the best way to do that is to sit down with a professional real estate agent like myself to really figure out why you want to sell the property. Also, what is the timeline that you're looking to sell your property? Not the time that you're gonna put your home on the market, but the time that you want to move in to your next destination. And moving is a big decision. Sometimes it's a family decision rather than an independent individual decision. So you definitely want to talk to your significant others, your kids, your parents, to make sure that you're not making just an emotional decision, rather also you're making a logical decision for you and your family. So now, once you determine, okay, I really wanted to move, selling the home is possibly something that I wanted to do, then step number 1 is to really analyze the market before you list the home. What I'm saying here is not to just go to Zillow or go to Redfin to look at the guesstimate and try to kind of figure out how much you want to sell your home for based on those algorithm generated number. There are actually 4 things that I will look into when it comes to analyzing the market. Number 1 is look at the current inventory compared to the past and also compared to historical data. This way, you know how many homes are actually on the market, how many are pending, so you can know strategically how you can list your property to get the maximum exposure. And number 2, review the recent comparable sales data. Definitely look at the closed sale rather than an active listing. Because as you know, active listing, anybody can actually list at any price that they wanted. So I will focus more on the sold property. Better yet, I will look at the pending sale, because that's actually what's happening right now at this point of time. The third thing that I want to look at is the days on the market, based on its current location, current price point, current unit mix, or even the product type. Single family home is different than condos, so I would definitely want to separate that and look at that number closely. The fourth thing I want to look at is the month supply of homes, meaning if there's no new homes that come on the market, how long it will take for all the inventory to go to zero. So this is a good way to gauge how strong the market is. So to put it in perspective, if the number is below 3 months, then it's considered a seller's market. If the number is above 6 months, it's considered a buyer's market. And if anything between 3 to 6 months, it's considered a neutral and a healthy market. Right now, most area in Southern California is ranging between 3 to 5 months supply of homes. So it's still considered a relatively healthy market, but a couple years ago, it was down to just 1 to 2 months supply of homes. So this is why people are feeling, oh, how come it's taking so long for a property to sell? Because the property was selling too fast in the past few years. Step number 2 is to set a strategic price. According to California Department of Real Estate, mispriced is the main reason why homes are being on the market for a long time. Sometimes when I go see sellers, the things that frustrate me the most is when I go talk to them and then the seller, obviously they study the market or they are aware of what's being sold in the area. They will tell me, oh, so and so just sell their property and then it's sold for, let's say, $1.5 million. And then I take a look at my comparables and I don't see it. And then I ask them, how long did that happen? And then they will tell me, oh, about 3 years ago. So I want to say, when it comes to comparables, Appraisers and most buyers, they look at what's being sold in the past 90 days. Sometimes they will stretch it to 180 days. At most cases, at most, they will go to 1 year worth of data. If it's a custom home or there just isn't too many inventory, that's very similar to this subject property. But most of the time, they will only go back to 3 to 6 months. One thing I want to say to definitely avoid is to test the market. Because if you overprice your listing, most buyers won't even bother go take a look at that property, especially if there are more options in the area. So according to California Association of Realtors and my personal experience, the first 2 to 3 weeks are the most important time when it comes to selling your property. So you definitely don't want to price too high, because by doing so, sometimes you could even be chasing down the market. And the longer your property is on the market, the more the buyer will think what's wrong with the property. Number 3 is a quick one, knowing your true net proceeds. So a professional real estate agent should be providing you what's called a net sheet. This is what you'll get in your pocket after you close escrow. It's called the selling proceed, which is the amount escrow will wire into your bank account or actually hand you a check. The amount that you're actually gonna walk away after you sell, which include the agent's commission, all the fees that you gotta pay to escrow, title, the city, county, recording, all the fees. So make sure you acquire what is called a seller's proceed. This way you know how much you're walking away with. So let's say you look at the comparables, you look at everything, you're like, okay, the price makes sense. I'm okay with the price I'm walking away with after all the fees, and I wanna sell my property. What you wanna do is sign a contract, and as you're signing the contract, make sure you're looking at the price, the commission, and the length of contract. That's the most important thing that you want to make sure you have it right while you're selling your property. Step number 4, after you sign your listing agreement with the agent, after you confirm everything's okay, then what you wanted to do is to fill out the disclosure document. This way, the agent can know everything that he or she doesn't know about the property, such as if there are any passing in the property, any insurance claim, any issue with the neighbor, any additions, any issues with the property that the buyers would like to know if you're the buyer. So one key thing to remember is that when in doubt, disclose. This way you can avoid any liability later on when you're selling your property. And this way your agent can also know if there's anything wrong with the property, and we can address it before you actually put it on the market. As you're doing your disclosure, make sure you actually review your insurance. Also do a preliminary title search to make sure that there's no cloud on the title, so you can still sell it smoothly, rather than doing all the work and then found out that, oh, actually there's something wrong with the title. You gotta wait for another month or two to clear the title, and the buyer may walk away. So you definitely want to take a look at it prior to you putting it on the market and resolve it before you actually sell the property. Step number 5 is to prepare the property. There's a difference when it comes to selling a property in Northern California and Southern California. I know in Northern California, they actually encourage you to do a pre-listing inspection. You can also do that in Southern California too, but I see that more in Northern California. I don't see that too often in Northern California. It is optional. If you decided to do the pre-listing inspection, if you find out anything on the report, then you gotta disclose to the buyer, because now you know the material fact. Totally personal choice, no right or wrong there. I would say either way could work, and it really depends on the condition of the property. And the next thing is to address any visible repairs, such as any leak, any big cracks, any issue with it, so that you can give the buyer a great first impression when they walk into the property. If you need to repaint, repaint. I would say definitely do all the cosmetics so that you can make sure that the property is presented in the right way. One thing that we like to do when we are consulting our client is that if you're gonna spend money in terms of repairing your property, our intention is to have you spend $5,000, but you can get $10,000 or $20,000 back. So you get a positive ROI rather than the other way around, putting in 20 grand and only getting 5 grand back. So that's why you want a professional real estate agent who knows what to repair. So this way you can get more money back when you're selling your property. Next thing that you wanted to do is to declutter your property and do a deep clean, because again, first impression really matter. You will be surprised. Declutter actually is very easy. You can put all the stuff into your closet or into the garage, because the buyer understands. I mean, you're moving, they just want to feel, hey, if I walk into this property, I mean, it looks nice, it looks neat, it looks clean. It doesn't need to be all luxurious, but they want to feel like they are walking into a clean home, kind of like an Airbnb. While you're at it, I would say also don't forget to take your front yard and your backyard to, make a nice curb appeal, put some plants or throw away some trash or, all these unnecessary big item which you put in the backyard which you don't really use, throw it away. Less is more. So this way the buyer can see the spacious backyard that you have rather than a bunch of like useless items in the backyard which just make it look really messy. The next step is to launch it with a strong marketing plan. So every agent does it differently. Something that you definitely want to avoid is to work with those PPP agent, which you kind of joke around call it. You put it on the MLS and then you put a sign in the front yard and you pray that it sells. So that's definitely not a great marketing plan. You want to definitely look at what the agent can do so that you can have the maximum exposure when you're selling your property. And price it right is a good start, but having more eyes on your property is definitely very important too. So what we do here is that we market it to all 300 some agents in our organization. And then also we blast it out to thousands and thousands of people and agents so that they can look into their own database and their own clientele to see if they have any clients that may be interested in buying your specific property. And we definitely leverage social media, videos, and targeted ad so we can have more eyes on your property, because if more people see your property, more people will come actually visit your property. And if more people come to see your property, then you'll get more offers. More offer means more price, and that's eventually what you want. Step number 6 is to evaluate offers strategically. If you haven't seen my previous video when it comes to evaluating an offer, you can click there and take a look at it, or maybe there. You'll go see it. I don't have that many videos right now. So when it comes to evaluating offers, you not only just want to look at the price, you want to look at the down payment, you want to look at the term, the timeline, the contingency, and you definitely want to have a professional agent who knows what he or she is doing. So this way they can vet out and find out if the buyer and the buyer's agent are playing games. So a lot of time we can tell, like some agent, they was strategically or trying to play game and list the property really high and then later on negotiate on the price once you accept their offer. So that's something that your agent should be able to watch out for you. Step number 7 is to navigate inspection and appraisal. This is where some seller may feel like they are losing leverage. This is where experience really matter, because I've seen this too many times where experienced agent would sometimes really just take advantage of newer agents, and newer agents would make unreasonable requests which make the whole transaction like into a mess. So you want somebody that is a calming force of the transaction and who is able to lead not only the client but also the client and the agent on the other side. Last step is to close with a clear transitioning plan, because every seller is different. Some seller may need a rent back, some seller may need a contingent situation for them to sell their property and to buy another property. Some a little bit more simple, they are simply just looking to cash out, and some are looking to do a 1031 exchange. But at the end, we definitely want to make sure that the timeline works, especially when it comes to the rent back situation. We want to make sure we got everything negotiated so that way you can stay in the property while you look for the next property, or simply just because you need a little bit more time to move. One of the things that I would say definitely look into as a professional agent, actually we will guide our client to talk to their CPA, because every time when we're buying or selling a property, when there's a title change, even a refinance, sometimes if it involves title change, it could mean tax consequences. So definitely consult a tax professional regarding your specific situation. If you're ready to sell your home in California, or you may have some question regarding your specific situation, don't hesitate to reach out and I can personally help you. If you like this video, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. This could really help me push this video to the people that may be looking to sell their property, and I would really appreciate that. I will see you in the next video.